Hi, I'm Darla Beam with DV Leadership. Welcome back. This week, week 14, we're talking about values. This is one of my favorite conversations to have with people, and this exploration of looking deep at what values are. But first of all, I want to be clear. Values are not morals. Values are not making a person right or wrong. Values are not a way to judge ourselves, right, and criticize ourselves and make ourselves wrong. All right. And also, values are different for everyone. It's what matters and is most important to you, and it's unique to you. And we could even have a similar or the same value, and the way that we interpret it is different. And what matters is that we're clear that it's a personal and a unique thing. We're going to talk about values and other people a little bit more later on in the conversation. But that's what values are not. What are values? Values are the metaphorical, the foundation for the metaphorical spiritual house that you have been building your whole life, okay? So up until now, we've been kind of talking about containers and making choices and smoothing out the ground for pouring our foundation for a metaphorical house, all right? And when we pour that house, when we pour the foundation, when it's solid, right, when we're clear on what it looks like and we do it in a very intentional way, our house lasts for a very, very long time. However, when we pour it on we pour an unstable foundation, we can have cracks and issues in the foundation that can come up right away or years down the line. And that's what ends up happening, right? And so as we're going through life, as we're making choices, as we're living our lives, values come up every single day. And when we're making choices in alignment with those values, things feel good. Things are smooth. Things are running well. It's not to say that there's not bumps, but there's just sort of that resonance, right? And when we're not, it's because we're stepping on a value. It's because our foundation is not stable and solid. I want you to keep this spiritual house, the values being the foundation of this house in the back of your mind, okay? And I want to share a little secret that I promised at the beginning about a vision quest that I did about 5-6 years ago now. I went to New Mexico and I spent 9 days outside, sleeping on the ground. And one of the exercises that I did was creating a spiritual garden, which formed into this beautiful, made from nature, from all the pieces of nature, but what each rock or twig or item from nature symbolized was actually a value. And it ended up forming into this, what I called a spiritual garden. And my aha was so profound in that with a garden, just like with anything else, we have to kind of prune, right? We have to prune and pull weeds from our spiritual garden, because what ends up happening is when we grow up and as we're with people and in partnerships, we begin to feel sometimes aligned in our values, and sometimes we mesh our values with other people's, and sometimes we just end up living somebody else's value. So the beauty of this exercise of creating this natural spiritual garden was I got to see that this is a lifelong process of pruning this spiritual garden and pulling the weeds and looking at values and deciding what works and what doesn't work. And ultimately, I got to build stronger walls around my garden and live a life that's in alignment with who I truly am. In every single moment, I seek to live my values, be in integrity around my values. And the result has been harmony, peace, exponential growth, and purpose, and impact in the world. So this is your challenge for this week, okay? I want you to go today and make a list of as many values as you can think of, things that are most important to you. You think back through your life and think about the places where you made choices that were in alignment with who you truly are. What were you valuing? Maybe put 50 down on the list, okay? As many as you can. Look at this list, make your spiritual garden. And then I want you to go back through, and I want you to take your time and really circle the top 5 things that matter most to you. What are your core values, okay? That's the first part. The second part is, as you go through the next week or so, I want you to look around at what's happening, what's unfolding around you, and focus on these core values. Where are you honoring them? Where are you maybe stepping on them a little bit, feeling like you're giving them up? And I want to hear back. I want to hear from you how this is working for you. What is coming up? What are your ahas? And I'll see you back here in week 15. Have an amazing week.